011720T. Council, identify yourselves for the record, please.
James Branson on behalf of the City of Midland.
Leland Burton for Jeremy LaFrey, Your Honor.
Today's time and date set for a bench trial on a license plate violation and no valid ops. Has there been a change in that plan?
There has. My client was going to accept the offer from the city attorney's office for Mr. Branson specifically.
And the offer is, Mr. Branson?
Your Honor, the offer is to plead to the file date of 2/10/21, which is improper plate, no valid ops. With that is what was scheduled for the bench trial today. We would dismiss the second file, which is 20-1405, which was a no valid ops with an event date of 12/7/20. So the 2/10/21 file of case number 21-0172, it's my understanding Mr. LaFrey will plead guilty to. There's also a no jail recommendation and fines and costs to simply be set by the court.
Okay. Katrina, I do not see that the no valid ops was set for today's date, but I do see the file.
Your Honor, it was not. The trial was moved out because unavailability of a witness.
All right, that makes sense. Mr. Burton, is it your recommendation that your client accept the offer and enter the guilty plea to these charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. LaFrey, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You have a soft voice. You need to speak up. That little red microphone right there is what we're going to try to hear from. Can you tell me your name so we can see if we can hear you?
Jeremy, James LaFrey.
How are we doing, Katrina? Can you hear him all right?
Yes, sir.
Mr. LaFrey, your lawyer is recommending you enter a guilty plea to these charges so that another case would be dismissed. Are you planning on following your attorney's advice?
Yes.
All right. If you would please stand, raise your right hand, and I will swear you in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Go ahead and have a seat. Has anyone promised you anything more than what we've talked about on the record or threatened you in any way to get you to plead to this charge when you really do not want to?
No.
Are you right now under the influence of any medicines, drugs, or alcohol that's confusing you this morning?
No.
If you enter this plea, you would be waiving the right to trial. You could have had a trial by jury, or we were scheduled for a bench trial this morning, but there'll be no trial on this case. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Mr. Burton will be your attorney. You'll be waiving the right to represent yourself or hire your own lawyer. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You will be waiving the right to remain silent and not have your silence used against you, and the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand this?
Yes.
You will be waiving the right to confront your accusers, to call witnesses, and to testify. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Do you waive these rights to enter this plea?
Yes.
Mr. Burton, is the computer screen on in front of you? Right in front of Mr. LaFrey?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. LaFrey, do you see the document on the computer screen there?
Yes.
How do you plead to count one of improper plate? Do you plead guilty, not guilty, or stand mute?
Guilty.
How do you plead to not having a license on that date? Guilty, not guilty, or stand mute?
Guilty.
On February 10th of this year, were you driving a 2000 Buick LeSabre in the city and county of Midland?
Yes.
Was that your vehicle?
There's my girlfriend's.
It's your girlfriend's vehicle. And did it have a license plate on there that didn't belong to that car?
Yes.
And on that day, did you have a valid driver's license so that you could drive?
No.
Have I complied with the court rule and had an adequate factual basis, Mr. Branson?
Yes, Your Honor, you have.
Do you agree, Mr. Burton?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. I find that the plea has been made knowingly, understandingly, voluntarily, and accurately. Will enter in the records of the court as count 1 and count 2. For based on the plea agreement, the charge and the file 20 that's in the file 20-1405 is now dismissed. Allocution on behalf of your client, Mr. Burton.
I would ask that the court adopt the recommendations today. I would also indicate to the court, as an officer of the court, Mr. LaFrey has matters pending now before the 42nd Circuit Court. They're at the pretrial stage. We're awaiting a trial on that matter, and quite honestly, I don't have he's out on bond, so we don't have a specific trial date. But I would ask that the court again implement the agreement and recommendation.
Mr. Branson, any comment regarding the sentence?
No comment regarding sentence. Thank you.
All right. Mr. LaFrey, anything you want to say in your own behalf?
No, sir.
You had a good long streak where you didn't have any trouble. 2003 to 2015, you had 12 years where you didn't get in trouble. And then all of a sudden we grouped a bunch up in 2015. 2015, malicious use of the phones. 2015, driver license suspended. Then 2016. I don't know. I'm hoping we're not heading back towards that bunching again, because you got one in 20 and then you got these two in
Yeah.
2021.
I'm trying to get it, my license, but I've never had one.
Well, it ends up being a problem, specifically with some of the other charges that you've had. I'm going to use fines and costs today. I have three things to change your behavior. When a person commits a crime, my job is to issue punishment that I think will make them change their ways so they don't drive without a license. In these cases, I have money, probation, and jail. If you had a drug problem or a drinking problem, I could give you probation. I can have you go to counseling. If you had an anger problem, anger management. If you had a money problem, I can make you go to budgeting class. I cannot think of any probation terms I can give you to have you not drive. I can't think of any. So that leaves me money in jail. I'm using money this time. If money doesn't work and you drive and you get caught back here, I don't have any tools left. All I have is jail, because when you're in jail, I know you won't be driving without a license because I won't let you drive. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So it will be the sentence of this court in count one that you will pay $75 crime victim rights fee, a $50 state assessment fee, $100 in fines, no court costs. In count two, you will pay $50 state assessment fee, $100 in fines, $100 in court costs. 1, 2, 3. It's $475. Are you able to pay that today, or do you need some time?
Could I pay it on the 1st?
Your Honor,
Yes.
it's been brought to my attention that he has bond in both cases, $100 in both files.
Can we apply, since the one case is closed, can we take that $100 from that and apply it to this one?
Yes.
Okay. So what'll happen is you owe $275.
Okay.
I'm guessing the 1st is when you get your money, so you still
Yes.
need to do it on the 1st. Okay. Well, if you would go over to the criminal window and make your plan with them.
Yep.
I'm giving you 21 days to appeal the sentence, 14 days to request a court appointed attorney. If you do nothing, you just owe the $275 that you need to pay.
Okay.
All right, let's
I
make
can
that
pay
payment.
that on the 1st.
Okay, we'll be adjourned. Just go make your plan, though.
Okay.